They named you a curse because they knew what would happen if you ever awakened. They feared you long before they ever saw you rise. Whispers in shadows, fingers pointing behind closed doors, a child of defiance, a soul born from fire. They didn't see a person, they saw the consequence of everything they tried to bury. They wanted to erase you, your strength, your truth, your voice, not because you were weak, but because even in silence, you were too loud for their lies. They chained your potential, they mocked your scars, they tried to shame the fire that kept you alive, and when that didn't work, they called you dangerous. But they forgot. Curses are only dangerous when they're fulfilled, and now you're not hiding, you're becoming. The prophecy wasn't inked in books, it was carved in your pain, etched into every betrayal, forged in the furnace of every night you had to survive alone. The prophecy is you. You were never here to be liked. You were sent to shift the balance, to haunt the halls of comfort with the echo of truth, to tear down what was built on your silence. They fed you fear. You turned it into fuel. They gave you limits. You broke them until the word meant nothing. And now, you walk with storms under your skin. You speak in thunder. You stare into chaos, and it bows. You are not their version of justice. You are the return of what they tried to erase. You are the monster they swore would never rise, and the reckoning they swore would never come. Let them tremble. Let them call you names. Let them pray to be spared from the thing they created. Because you are no curse. You are the prophecy. And prophecies don't ask permission. They fulfill themselves. Through fire, through ruin, through you. They named you a curse because it was easier than admitting they created you. They didn't understand you, so they feared you. They couldn't break you, so they branded you. They looked at your pain, and instead of helping you heal, they used it to chain you deeper. As if your suffering was a sin, and your strength was a threat. But that's the truth they could never face. You were never broken. You were buried. Buried beneath their expectations, beneath their shame, beneath a world that feared anything that refused to kneel. They tried to silence you, but all they did was teach you to listen to the fire rising inside you, to the voice beneath the ruin, to the storm that whispered, "You were born for more." You see, curses don't come from weakness. They're born when power is exiled, when truth is punished, when destiny is feared so deeply they disguise it as a warning. You were that warning. You are what happens when the outcast stops apologizing, when the forgotten stop begging to be seen, when the damned learn to command their own damnation. They made you the villain of their story, because they knew deep down you were never meant to play by their rules. You were the end of their lies, the start of something ancient, something they tried to kill before it ever had a name. But you survived, and survival is prophecy in motion. Every scar they gave you, a symbol. Every betrayal, a verse. Every time they laughed while you bled, a fire lit in the bones of fate. And now, you no longer walk to be accepted. You walk to be remembered, to be feared, to be fulfilled, because the prophecy isn't coming. It already walked into the room the moment you stopped pretending to be anything but everything they feared. You are not here to fit in. You're here to rip apart the illusion. You are not here to be forgiven. You're here to make the silence scream. You were the curse in their eyes, but in truth, you were the return, the rebellion, the balance clawing its way back. And now you rise, not with mercy, but with meaning, not with apology, but with authority. You carry the storm not to destroy, but to cleanse, to purge, to remind the world that power, real power, isn't given, it is reclaimed. So let them